Здравейте, bonjour, hello, and hola, as I will be reviewing a course by Real Spanish, my friends that I have collaborated with before. So please, if you haven't seen that yet, go ahead and check out my interview with Elizabeth Coelho, who is the owner and teacher of Real Spanish. It's a very interesting interview where we talk about Spanish and teaching and her experience and ideas for starting and developing Real Spanish. And also we talk about a particular course that I was taking at the time, which was called Español con Podcasts 1, El Cardumen y Otros Cuentos. It's a free course, so maybe you should check it out if you haven't. Now, one thing I noticed in Real Spanish website that really intrigued me since I saw the title was Spanish with Cinema. And now I had the chance to try the first chapter, which is completely free, of a course called Arrugas. As always, Real Spanish gives an advanced word right from the very beginning, from the title. Arrugas means wrinkles. And of course, I know this word now. I didn't before I started it. You just can't help memorizing it. The price is 36 euros, but there is a free preview, which is what I have just completed. It contains parts of an animated film, which in turn is based on the graphic novel by Paco Roca. The animated film is award-winning, and it is a moving story about the friendship between two old men who meet in a care home for elderly people. There are 6 lessons altogether, and each lesson contains 12 parts. I will now talk to you in more detail about the 12 parts of lesson 1, which I have just completed. First, we have an introduction, okay? These are all videos. The introduction is in the form of a video, 4 minutes long approximately. In this video, we meet our charming virtual teacher, Carmen, who is very sympathetic. What I like about her is she's not realistic at all, which in terms of the uncanny valley works very well for me. She has these tiny jiggly arms, and she tells us what we're going to be doing. She teaches us some vocabulary, such as how to refer to elderly people politely in Spanish. Then we move on to some geography, like the story set in Galicia. So that's the region we learn about. And we have a main character who is called Xoan, not Juan. And this is a typical name from the region. Okay, then the second part is actually the same presentation. It's a repetition of it. What I did was speed it up to 1.5. And then we have part 3. We have a short quiz, which makes sure that we have made sense of the vocabulary as well as the cultural information that we have just seen. Actually, I struggled a bit with the cultural information. I should have paid more attention to it. I had 3 out of 5 questions correct. The vocabulary that is in the quiz is intermediate to advanced. Basically, this is what is really specific and really cool about Real Spanish. They really cater for people who have studied Spanish before, maybe even for a very long time, and who would like to maintain their progress and, of course, increase it. So there are words like branch of a company, sucursal, the old man that we encounter in the first episode used to be the manager of a bank, and he still thinks he is one. He has problems with his memory linked to his age. On to part 4, the video with English subtitles. Now, I decided to skip this part. You don't have to do that, of course, but I'll tell you why I did it. Subtitles have never worked for me. I grew up in Bulgaria, where we don't really tend to dub films, where we are used to subtitles, yet we are kind of used to ignoring them. So if I really want to learn something, I would go for the audio, the original audio with subtitles in the original language, which of course I understand why some people would need the English subtitles first. Obviously, if you don't understand the meaning of some words and phrases, then you can't necessarily make it out without seeing the translation. I personally did not have issues with the vocabulary. So if you have around my level, I have B2 certified, you should be fine with the vocabulary. Then we have, for part 5, we have the same episode, but with subtitles in Spanish. Now, this was more challenging, and this was, I guess, the section I enjoyed the most, because it was where the action was, it was where the film was. I actually watched it twice. I thought, okay, I skipped part 4, I can afford to do that. So the first time I reduced the speed to 0.75. I'm not that good at listening and following Spanish spoken by native speakers. I have never been to Spain in my life. I struggle with that, and I thought, okay, I'll do that. If you can go without, then that's great. And then I watched it once again at normal speed. Then part 6 is the episode without subtitles. So I did that. I felt prepared to listen and follow after having seen part 5 twice. And then we had the conclusion in section 7, where we had a discussion of the film. Again, there's some cultural notes, such as notes on the colloquial language used. We learned the word taco, which means swear word. I will never see tacos the same way. With some expressions, pues nada, well, anyway, when you want to stop the conversation, enterarse, find out. These are just some words and expressions that I noted because I was either not familiar at all with, or they wouldn't come naturally in a conversation. And something interesting about the vocabulary is that it comes both from the film, from the episode, and it's kind of metatextual, from the instructions and the discussions, which it's kind of, it's really balanced, like 50% the episode, 50% the explanations. The lessons really focus on both. Then section 8, now we have PDFs that you can download and read a couple of times, or at least twice. This is what I did. We have the vocabulary and expressions. Again, these are both from the episode and from anything else we have seen until now in the sections. Section 9, the transcription. Once again, this is not just the film, but also all instructions, all cultural information, along with all the new words and expressions, that are contained within. If you like acting like me, you can just, go wild and act out a dialogue from the film. Le seré sincero. Con su sueldo y no trabajando su esposa, me temo que me es completamente imposible concederle un préstamo hipotético. Si al menos... Esto es desesperante, joder. Es que no hay quien lo aguante. Esto es como para volverse loco. Siempre igual, joder. Siempre igual. No empecemos otra vez con esto, que hoy no tenemos tiempo para dar con tonterías. Oiga, por favor, cálmese. Llevo más de 20 años como director de esta sucursal. Basta, papá. No estás en la caja. Hace ya años que no trabajas en ella. Yo no quiero ningún préstamo. Lo que quiero es que te comas la sopa. ¿Pero qué? Section 10, we have grammar. There are two grammar points that are covered in this lesson. One is participio pasado como adjetivo. Again, from the episode and from the instructions and cultural notes, some examples of this kind of grammatical point are adjectives like basado, based on película animada, animated, persona jubilada, retired person, basically adjectives that come from a past participle form of a verb. Then we also have subjuntivo. It's difficult to go without. For example, there is this expression that I found new at first. Es que no hay quien lo aguante. At first I was like, what? Even after seeing the translation, who could put up with this? And then I realized lo aguante, like to support him, to fit in with him, like you do in a glove, and it made sense to me. So in terms of these grammar points, we have translations into English and comparisons with English grammar, which can be useful for a large set of learners. And the explanations are short. Don't feel like if you're not that much into grammar and you're really attracted to the animation style, don't worry about it. It's really short grammar explanations. They're very respectful of your level. I felt great. I felt like, okay, I don't feel like I'm being told from scratch what the subjunctive mode is. I'm just being reminded of it, and maybe my knowledge is being extended with some new expressions and some new angles to look into it. Section 11, tareas interactivas. Here we have, for instance, a series of flashcards, one for the words, one for the expressions, and a lot of opportunity to practice, to learn them. They're not crazily many. Like, if you are interested in having a little look at this, like in the morning or on the bus or before going to bed, don't worry, you can do that. It is doable. It's not going to take more than maybe 10 minutes if you want to have a good look at all the flashcards and to test yourself in some way. And section 12, the final section, is a quiz. The quiz includes grammar and vocabulary. I had the 100%. And I'm not going to show you, of course, all the questions. You should rather head toward Real Spanish site and check it all out. Like I said, it is completely free. A couple of additional notes. The film is really something I would enjoy, even if it wasn't for learning. It is not simple in terms of both the techniques, like there is some very nice play on what the old man sees versus what is really going on. There's some serious topics, serious emotions, like there is the son with his father who has memory problems and who is getting old, and there is this kind of tension that he's taking care of him, but then he can't help getting annoyed by him. He can't control his anger. And then the father's reaction also, he shows that he can be hurt by what the son does and how the son feels about him. And this is just the beginning of the film. I will be happy to continue it. This, by the way, this goes for the podcast Cardumen that I saw before. Also, it was not a very simple topic. It was linked to very specific problems, actually problems that are around in the world very much today. Do I have any tips for improvement? I always try to say something here. So the course is brilliant, honestly. What I would have liked personally maybe would be an active forum in which to communicate with other users, maybe get creative. Films make me want to be creative. For example, we could write a dialogue between the characters, imagining what happens next. I mean, I wouldn't be confident if we had to do it, but if it was just an added optionality, I might enjoy that for people that are not, that have a little bit more time than just checking it out for 5 minutes while riding on the bus. I hope this was extensive enough. I hope you get an idea about this course called Arrugas by Real Spanish. If you check it out, which I really advise you to do, please share your impressions in the comment section. Tell me how you did in the quizzes. Tell me if you're continuing. I am, if you're continuing with the next lessons. So thank you very much for your attention, guys. Well, see you soon. Bye-bye.